so today's video is going to be a Court of Mist and Furies book review. This is the second book in the ACOTAR series, or A Court of Thorns and Roses. I loved this book. It was amazing. And I know you see these. I normally don't annotate my books, and I didn't annotate this. I'm really bad at it. I really need to learn how, otherwise I'm going to fail junior year. But I just like highlighted some, or bookmarked some chapters that I loved. Excuse me. And I mean, there are more chapters that I loved, but I just didn't have, like, I didn't think to bookmark them, I guess. Oh my gosh, why do I look so bad? Oh, there it is. It's the shadow. But yeah, so I'll, get into it in a minute. Okay, and I'll read this. Feyre survived Amarantha's clutches to return to the Spring Court, but at a steep cost. Though she now has the powers of the High Fae, her heart remains human, and it can't forget the terrible deeds she performed to save Tamlin's people. Nor has Feyre forgotten her bargain with Rhysand, High Lord of the feared Night Court. As Feyre navigates its dark web of politics, passion, and dazzling power, a greater evil looms, and she might be the key to stopping it. But only if she can harness her harrowing gifts, heal her fractured soul, and decide how she wishes to shape her future and the future of a world torn apart. This was so good. I don't know why I'm hitting myself, but it was so good. It was just so fiery and passionate, and I don't know how to describe it. It was amazing. But okay, so yes, she did return to the Spring Court, and she was going to get married to Tamlin, and I don't know if I told you this in the last video, but she killed, her last task was to kill these 3 fairies, and one of them was Tamlin, but he had a heart made of stone or something like that, and so he couldn't die. I didn't really understand that part. I probably read too fast and skipped something, but she ended up having to kill these 2 innocent fairies, and she hated it. She hated it. Like, in the very first beginning of half of this book, she was so torn apart by it, and she, would wake up vomiting in the middle of the night. It was horrible. Sorry. Bogey is, really active right now. He's usually not this active. He's usually sleeping. But she ended up having, horrible nightmares, and she hated it, but, she ended up getting past that. I mean, of course, it still haunts her, but she got past it. And so she ends up Bogey, stop it. They ended up planning a wedding, and his childhood friend Ianthe was there. Ugh, I hate her. And when I get into the next book review, you'll know why. But anyway, they were friends, and of course, blah, blah, blah. It was amazing. Well, then then she starts getting married, and she's walking down the aisle, and she's begging for anybody to save her. Well, then Rhys, oh my gosh, sorry, I love this part. Rhys shows up out of nowhere, he winnows there. It's, time travel, teleportation. Winnows there, and takes her away to the Night Court. And she's so mad at him. And she... Bogey. Sorry, he's so active, but I don't know why. She throws a shoe at him. She's so mad. She throws a shoe at him and hits him in the head. And then he literally... And it's the most powerful High Lord, and oh my gosh, it was crazy. Well, anyway, and so then she's mad at him, and he reinstates their bargain to, and so he keeps her for a week, and then she goes back, and then Tamlin, of course, uses this time, or uses her as a spy, and it makes me so mad because he's a total tool by the time that, it makes me so mad. Well, anyway, then, she has such a good time, she mostly just sleeps, and, she usually just sleeps all day and doesn't really do anything. And Rhys, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Well, then Rhys ends up letting her have her freedom, and when she goes back to the Spring Court, Tamlin locks her into their house. He uses her as a spy, and Rhys is willing to work on her with her powers, and then when she goes back to the Spring Court, Tamlin is not like willing, like he doesn't want to work with her on her powers, like he doesn't want her manifesting them. He's like, oh, it'll be such a bad idea, blah blah blah. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's okay. It's because when she came back, I'm pretty sure I told you this, but when she came back, she got her powers back, or powers back. She got all of the High Lord's powers, like a kernel of their power, and that's it. Like, you know, and so she. Oh my gosh. And Tamlin's like, oh, it'll make her a target. They'll target her, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so what? She'll have their power to use against them. Like, I mean, you know, it just, oh my gosh, it made me so mad. But anyway, well then, she ends up going back to the night court, like, every month and stuff. And she ends up, like, I don't know, she just ends up not falling in love. I'm not trying to say that, but, like, I mean, she does, but anyway, okay, sorry, I'm going really ahead. So the third time, I think, Reese realizes that she can't read. I mean, of course, like in the first book, he realized she couldn't read, but he helps her. He makes her write all these sentences down. Like, Reese is the most handsome High Lord. It's so funny though. It helps her though. It really does help her read, but it's so funny. And then so she learns to read there, and then like manifests her powers. And even though she doesn't want to, but at the same time she kind of does want to learn how to use her powers. And so anyway, well then she ends up going back to the Spring Court, and she asks to go on a mission with Tamlin and Lucien, and he says no, and he locks her in the house. Well, then she has PTSD, and she literally surrounds herself with darkness, and it freaks all of his sentries out. And then Alice contacts the Night Court or something, or however that came about. Somehow the Night Court Reese found out and saved her or whatever. And anyway, so Morgan comes and takes her back to Morgan is his cousin, and she takes her back to the Night Court, and she wakes up there, and she's all half delirious, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember the very first part of this, because I just kind of, there's, like, certain parts that I remember, but, anyway, and then after a while, she ends up falling in love with the city, and Velaris is the city of starlight, like, city of... It's just so beautiful. There's mountains. There's a rainbow. Like, there's this rainbow thing. And it's, like, there's a river or sea. I can't remember. There's, like, artists. And it's so beautiful. Like, I mean, I will have to show you pictures. I'll have to try and get one up here. And if I don't, I'm sorry. But it's so beautiful. And, like, it makes you want to live in these books. Like, I mean... Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Well, anyway, so then, after a couple of weeks or days, I don't know, she meets Cassian and Azriel, and holy crap. I've seen pictures of Cassian and Azriel, and I never really thought Azriel was cute. I thought Cassian and Reese were, like, the hot ones, but, like, dang, Azriel is so sweet. Like, he's the quiet, reserved one. Cassian is the loud, obnoxious, like, he's like Chandler Bing. He makes jokes out of anything, and he provokes people, but it's hilarious. Oh. And, it's so, oh my gosh, it just makes me so happy. Like, I love it. Anyway, and Cassian, I mean, like, literally, the first words that Cassian says is, like, come on, Feyre, we don't bite unless you ask us to. And I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it's such a Cassian thing to say. Like, I knew he was a jokester even before I read this book, because, I mean, TikTok has a lot of spoilers, I swear. And it's mostly my fault. Book Talk just has so much spoilers. But, oh my gosh, I love this book. Well, anyway, she ends up, and Reese has her meet them so that to figure out if she wants, or to give her the choice to see if she wants to work with them to help bring down the King of Hybern, which is the villain in the next few books. And it's just crazy. Like, it's crazy. And she says yes, of course, and she stays. And then, like, after a while, she writes a letter to Tamlin telling that he left she left of her own accord. Like, she did not want to be there. He trapped her. I mean, she didn't say this, but like, she's more diplomatic. But basically, what she said was that she left and she wasn't coming back, and he'd have to deal with it or something like that. And sorry, what, Bogey? No. Oh my gosh, she's tearing up this stupid curtain. Anyway, but it's amazing. And then, sorry, I'm looking at the back. And it's so amazing. And, this is her bangs. I love her bangs. It's like, I didn't realize that she had bangs. Like, I never looked at the back of the book. Not to read, or just only to read the synopsis, but I love the bangs. But they never mentioned those in the books. Like, I guess, but, or not that I know that they mentioned, but like, they didn't, like, I don't know, anyway. Sorry. So, anyway, my gosh, sorry. I forgot what I was saying. So she said yes, blah, 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 and her and Mor become really good friends, and, it's amazing. And then, after a while, she starts falling in love with Rhys, and, he's like the feminist of all feminists. Like, he lets her make her own choices, and he, like, I mean, literally, he didn't trap her in the house. He had to go away, like, in the very beginning, like, after she had left of her own accord or something like that. Or no, after, like, the first time she went, like, he took her there, like, on her wedding day, she, ended up, like, asking if she could go with him, and he said yes, but he said that you can't breathe a word to anybody about what you're about to see, and I'm like, ooh, like, because I didn't know what it was. I mean, I seriously didn't know what it was. And then, what else? Sorry. Sorry, I'm watching Friends on the TV. I get so distracted. Anyway, well then, she goes and she falls in love, like I said, and then she meets the gang. Amren is, oh my gosh, Amren is my favorite. Well, okay, not my favorite. She can sometimes be sort of a hoochie mama. She's really tough and strong, but she's like my height. She's like 5 foot, even probably not even 5 foot, but she's really short. So they call her the tiny ancient one, or the, it's just so funny. And then, it's so funny though, because she just like, Cassian and her just like, they bicker all the time, and it's funny. And him and Mor bicker, but it's like a family. I mean, you really see that even from the beginning. They're a family. They're called the Inner Circle, and I love that so much. So after a while, she starts falling in love with him. They flirt all the time, and she starts to realize that, and then they go on this mission, I think, in the Illyrian mountains or whatever, war camps, because they're Illyrians. They're like the baddest warriors, and sorry, and they do this never mind. Ignore what I was just about to say. I don't know how to say that. They do this like, oh, what are they called? Stakeout on something or on someone, and they're flying back, and then they have to like they're flying back to the Illyrians, because Rhys can fly, but nobody really knows about his wings. Like, you know, he keeps those secret because the Illyrians are known for cutting off the women's wings, and I'm like, that's horrible. Like, that's horrible. So, I mean, I can understand why he would keep his wings secret. I mean, even though most of the guys know he has wings, it's just like, I mean, they're sacred, and like, it's just not, I don't know. Anyway, but they're flying back, and he gets shot with these arrows that are poisoned, and they're with Faebane, or not Faebane, the ash arrows are like the arrows that will hurt a Fae. And so they go down. Well, then Rhys gets kidnapped, and then Feyre brings him back, or he's poisoned, and oh my gosh, sorry. Feyre brings him back to the Illyrian. Wait. Okay, sorry. I just got really excited because I forgot. Okay, not Reese. Feyre goes out to find some stuff to save him, and she traps the Suriel, which is the information guy. He's like, his power is information, or knowledge. And, oh my gosh, this is the best part. Okay, I know, I'm serious. This is like the best part. So, she traps him. She's asking him how to save him, like how to, get the poison out, or like, save him. I don't know why I just said that. Save him. And the Suriel is literally like, if you want to save your mate, you're gonna have to blah, 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 blah. And she's like, what did you just say? Like, what? And she had no idea. Like, they're mates. They're equals, and they're like equals in every way. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, oh my gosh. I was so excited. I'm sorry. I'm so excited because this is my favorite part. Well, anyway. So this was my favorite part. And then Reese, she's so mad at him. Like, Feyre is so mad at him. And he knew the whole time. He knew they were mates. And I was like, oh. I'm sorry. I'm so excited. I get so excited talking about this. And, anyway, so she brings him back to the Illyrian camp. And she tells Mor, she's like, get me away from here. I cannot be with him. I can't stand him. So she takes her to this cabin. And then she's like, she just sleeps. And then she paints. Because, like, after Tamlin, the tool, she ends up, like, not painting. Like, she hates painting. And, like, it just brings back too many bad memories and stuff. Well, she starts painting the cabin and stuff. Well, then, after a couple chapters, Reese comes and tells her the whole story about how he knew they were mates even before they met. The mating bond, like when they met, the mating bond had snapped into place, but he had seen her. He could see glimpses of her painting and hunting and stuff. And then he told her that, like, he'd known for a while, and it was just crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, And then chapter 55 comes, and you're like, hold up, this was a kid's book? Like, it is so raunchy. Like, chapter 55 is notorious. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. I'm not reading it to you, I swear, I'm not reading it. Yeah, this is chapter 55. It's like, it starts off normal, and then it gets, mashed potatoes, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And, oh shoot, I just moved my Kleenex pocket. Okay, it's fine. I mean, it is, oh my gosh, chapter 55 is so infamous that it's like, it's crazy. Well, anyway, sorry. Well, anyway, and then the mating bond snaps, like, into place for both of them. And then Cassian, oh my gosh, it is so funny. Cassian was like, whenever they got back to the Illyrian camp, their scent, Cassian could smell the mating bond. It's disturbing, I know. But, he's like, if Feyre's not too tired, maybe she could give me a ride. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, that is such a thing Cassian would say. And then Reese and him get into a huge fight, because Reese told her that when the mating bond happens, like, Illyrian males are not Illyrian males, but, like, males are so sensitive. Like, if you even look at their mate wrong, they go crazy. And he's like, some mates don't leave their house for a week. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I know this is so grown up. I'm just like, it was crazy. And it was amazing. And then, like, at the end, oh, this pissed me off. They have to go get the cauldron, which is, like, made everything or whatever. I don't know. Anyway. And then it's a trap. The King of Hybern knew they were there. Tamlin sold them out so that he could get Feyre back. Crazy. Well, then Ianthe sold out her sisters, who are human, and they were made into Fae, like Feyre was, except like not with the High Lord's power, like with the Cauldron's power. And oh my gosh, it was so crazy. And so Feyre, being the selfless person she is, she sacrificed herself to go back to the Spring Court. It pissed me off so much. Well, anyway, so yeah, but then they got officiated. So now she's the High Lady of the Night Court, and there's never been a High Lady of the Night Court. That's what Rhys told her. I'm sorry, I'm leaving out stuff. I'm sorry. But like, it just, oh my gosh, it makes me so mad. But it works out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that was my entire video on the Night Court, or the amazingness that Sarah J. Maas is, of A Court of Mist and Fury. I love this book so much. I love this series so much. I hope you guys read it. Skip chapter 55, please. And yeah. Just skip it until you're ready, or unless you reread it, just skip it. Or try to be very mature about it. Because I tried to be very mature. Like, really mature about it. But anyway, I hope you guys love this video. Please comment, subscribe. Please comment and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!